Moving on to the NFC East side of things, obviously the Eagles escaped last week with their own version of a September block party. 2 field goal blocks, including the final one to win it, taking it all the way back to ruin a bunch of people's cards, including myself. But it is what it is. The Eagles this week, they're heading to Tampa to face the Buccaneers. The Eagles are going to be 3.5-point favorites in this one. The over-under is 44. Money line is minus 185 for the Eagles, plus 160 for the Buccaneers. Obviously, I'll start with the Eagles side of things. Great to be 3-0. And one of the worst first halves of football I think you can see a professional team play. I think they had -1 passing yard at half. They had 33 total yards. It was getting ugly. And then straight out of the half, first drive of the second half, strip sack sets up a one play, 11-yard, whatever drive. And the Rams are up 26-7. However, the Eagles fight back, get a huge block at the end. Jalen Hurts is finally opened up. The offense opened up a little bit. I will say, I think the Eagles, I don't want to say play possum, but I think they know, okay, we have this in our back pocket. Let's not use it until we need it. And again, that's probably oversimplifying the problems, but it's September. 365 days ago, the Eagles, I felt like, were in a much worse position when they were getting blown out by these same Buccaneers. Well, not exactly same, but anyways, last year's Buccaneers team. With that being said, I've been very impressed with Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers offense. Ibuka is one of the top young wide receivers. What an incredible catch this past week. Mike Evans, questionable. I'm hearing probably doubtful. So that could be an issue. On the Eagles side of things, question marks around Lane Johnson. Unfortunately, Nolan Smith is going to be out until November. So the edge is going to need to get some boost elsewhere with either Jalix Hunt or someone else coming in and filling those shoes. But in terms of this game, unfortunately for the Eagles, historically, they really do struggle against the Buccaneers, and Jalen Hurts really struggles against Todd Bowles' defense. I like the Buccaneers here, maybe fully money line, but again, I see a plus 3.5 anywhere. I'm going to take it. So I can see Tampa covering plus 3.5, but Jake Elliott going out and getting the job done late and winning it, but still failing to cover the spread. One other thing to keep in mind, I don't know what it will be, but I know it will be very warm in Florida. It's always these early season games in either Jacksonville, Miami, or Tampa where you do see cramping or things like that. So keep that in mind. But I am going to take the over because I do think this number is a little too low for these two offenses. The Eagles' defense has struggled at times, and Tampa's defense is good. I get it, but two really good offenses, and both of these teams, I think, expect to see each other in the playoffs, so seeding will have to come into account. Give me the over 44. Raider Jim, your thoughts? Eagles heading to Tampa.
On the Eagles side, that is definitely going to impact them on the defensive side of the ball. What I read right before we went on is that, yeah, Mike Evans for Tampa Bay probably not going to play. He's not doing too well, but Baker Mayfield and the boys are going to have other targets. Now, if you look back to that historically looking at these matchups and you look at last year's game, Baker Mayfield had quite a day. Funny you brought up the temperature because one of the notes I have is it's going to be 87 degrees at day. Percent chance they're going to have thunder showers, maybe a little bit of lightning. So that's going to make it a expected enough to make me go under. Like you, I'm going to go over on this one, but I'm going to take it down 0.5 point and take it down to 43.5. I still think we're going to see something like 27-24, no matter who's on top. But at 27-24, guess what? That plus 3.5. Give me over 43.5. And good luck to both teams, and may they all stay healthy on that wet field.
Yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind. Hopefully we don't see any weather delays or, the weird 8-hour game that seems to have a 5-hour delay in between. But that's what happens this time of year, unfortunately. But